Just making sure. Making sure we're up here ready to go. We should be. Ah!
Welcome to the stream, everyone.
Ah! just making sure it was working. Hello, everyone. Hi. How's it going? Love you to death. Cool. Welcome to the live stream again of the Slams Fist Fact podcast. And everybody at home, welcome to the Slams Fist Fact podcast. Rick, how's it going today, sir?
Going pretty well, man. Can't complain. How are you doing?
Good. Tired. Didn't think I was going to make it here on time today because of my catastrophic dinner wait time today at Indochine. But we're here. It was horrible. Got there at 5:30 on the dot and got sat at 7.
This was with a reservation. Is that right?
No, they don't take reservations over until you get over to 8 people. But they open at 5. And I'm like, if we get there at 5:30, we're clearly going to be quicker, or we're going to beat the dinner rush, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
Traditional dinner rush.
They were like hour and a half. We're like, fuck, dude. I was ready to go somewhere else, but we did not. And I'm glad. Because one, I had some good sushi, had some good steak, beef, veggie thing that was very hot. And now I have extra of it for breakfast tomorrow. I'm going to throw it all in a pan and put some eggs in it, make some breakfast stuff. Yeah. And the lady was like, oh, hey, how spicy do you want it? She's like, mild, no spice. This hot is about the hotness on the scale of a jalapeno. And then this one is like a habanero type of hot. I was like, oh, I'll just take the regular hot as a jalapeno because I eat jalapenos all the time. I like spicy food. Top 3 hottest things I've ever fucking ate in my entire life. Dude, I was like, my nose was running. I was physically sweating in the restaurant.
It's just in, y'all.
Yeah.
And it has baby taste buds.
No, they are not baby taste buds because I love.
Go to Indochine and everyone try this same dish. Ask for the same level of heat, and let's see how Brandon's taste buds hold up.
It's hot. Like I love hot stuff. Like wings, I'm getting super hot or like desert heat at Buffalo Wild, all that kind of crap. This was hot. They were just like, oh, you want jalapeno hot? Well, actually, here's ghost pepper. And it's just, dude, it was hot. And then our buddy Davis, who we went with, he ordered hot. This same thing because the lady described it as jalapeno. He had some type of chicken thing, and no hotness at all. Tries mine, death-defying hot. Said it was hot. I tried his, no spice at all. I think what happened was they took both the hot seasonings and just put them into mine and didn't give him his. Horrible. But it was good though, and I'm still gonna eat it tomorrow too because it was good food. Indochine's good, man. It's a good place to eat. So, what about you? How's your day? It says good.
Yeah. So what you drinking, my man?
Oh well.
Well, that's gone. Tell me what else you're drinking.
I was drinking my pre-podcast thing. I have an entire bottle of champagne that I'm going to drink tonight.
Okay. That's a vibe.
There we go. I didn't have it.
I don't even believe you that it's champagne if it doesn't jump all over the room. That's with you.
I know I could. I know
Too many electronics in the room, don't there?
Yeah. There's an Xbox back here. I know there's a Nintendo 64 somewhere in here. No, I didn't have any beer.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking into.
Are you putting champagne on ice right now?
Yeah, it's hot.
Please, anyone that's tuned in, judge him for this and harass him in the comment section. Come on. You don't get away with just pouring champagne on ice, bro.
What do you mean? It's in a Coca-Cola glass.
All right, y'all. Well, it's been a good stream. I really
I
appreciate
had to.
y'all.
I have to cool it down.
Oh my god. That's you ever see those things that champagne come in where you sit it in the ice, not pour it in the ice? That's how you cool it down.
I don't have that time. I don't have that kind of time to do that.
Okay. Got it. Brandon
What are you
doesn't got
drinking, Rick?
that. Oh, I have this nice bottle of water with some flavorful Mio in it because Rick needs to hydrate. But Rick also hates the taste of regular water. That's just a real thing. If you're a water lover out there, I know there's a lot of you. My wife's one of them. She'll drink literally a gallon of water a day.
I'm a water lover. I take a water bottle everywhere I go. I got water right here.
She's got the huge one that tells you what time of day you're supposed to check mark it at.
Oh,
It's a whole
like a
gallon.
good morning. You're doing
Yes.
great. Hell yeah, keep it up. You know what I really want though, because I do drink a lot of water. I try to drink a gallon a day. Do I sometimes? No, but I get pretty close, and my wife definitely does.
Yeah.
I want one of those cool new ass looking Stanley Cup things, because only two of those would be a gallon of water. And I know if I filled
Oh,
that
she
thing,
has one of those.
like
She has
the
one of those.
new ones,
Yes.
I want to get one because
Her and her sisters got matching ones for Christmas. Yeah, they just got those Stanleys.
I want
And
one with my name monogrammed on it.
oh yeah. You know what my favorite part of it is? When we
What?
were sitting around like exchanging Christmas gifts and they were
Dude,
talking about
fuck
how
that.
excited they were to get those. They're all yeah. They were all talking about them and they're like, love my Stanley Cup. And I kept hearing Stanley Cup. Didn't even know y'all played hockey. Ha 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 ha. And none of them get the joke. And it was just, yeah.
You're an idiot for that, but that's really fucking funny. Like I like that joke. I'm about that joke, but yeah. So my goal today is my wife is out. She's going to the bar with her friends, and she told me, you know, hey, how drunk are you gonna get by the time you get home? So I'm gonna drink this entire bottle of champagne and see where I'm at then, and then if not, I got a gallon of tequila in the fridge, ready to go. I'll just start taking shots. But I didn't want to do that on the podcast. So you saw me about 45 minutes in, just start like dragging. But Richard, this week's in history. What are they? What'd you bring to the table?
So, out of pure spite to my listeners, I will bring back birthdays, but not the way I used to do them. So,
Boo. Boo.
I just thought this was interesting.
Rick hates the slammers.
That's because there'll always be the fisters in my heart. This week in history was interesting that four really well-known celebrities have their birthday, all different years. None of them are born the same year. Babe Ruth, Ronald Reagan, Rosa Parks, and Bob Marley all would have had birthdays this week. So I thought that was really cool. They're all also already passed away. In my old segment, I try to wish happy birthday to people that were still alive. So,
So that's what's different, guys. We won't have birthdays anymore unless they're very prominent people like all those people are. But cool. So I have one. And it also involves a question for you, and I want to see if you know the answer. I'm going to be really upset if you wrote this down as one of your this week's in history facts. So on the 2nd of February, so 2 days ago, in 1653. Did you write this down so far?
I did not write it down.
Okay.
I did not write it
Okay.
down.
1653, the city of New Amsterdam was founded. What city is that currently? It's still a city. You get no other hints.
Am I supposed to assume this is not ill-called New Amsterdam?
It is no longer called New Amsterdam.
Say, is this a trick question?
This is not a trick question. This is a true thing that happened.
1653.
1653.
New Amsterdam. I don't want to.
One guess. Everybody knows the rules. Go.
Okay, El Presidente.
Right now, what is it? What's the first thing that came to your mind that popped up?
Two different things, and one was extremely random, so I'm going to go with the one that made slightly more sense. I'm going to say New York.
It is New York City.
Yeah!
So 1653, it did not tell me when it changed from New Amsterdam to New York City. New York was founded as a Dutch colony outside of the British control in the colonies of the US. It is now the Big Apple, the Big Easy, New York City.
It's not the Big Easy. That's
I know. Place. That's New York. Or New Orleans. New Orleans.
I'm so happy. Okay, real talk. Let me tell you what my second guess was.
Sure.
Just how completely out of left field it was. I was in my brain to think if Amsterdam or Helsinki, Finland was older. And I was like, wouldn't it have been something if the Scandinavians just went to another really cold country right near them? And we're like, let's keep using Amsterdam. Because I figured it had to be a big city.
So you were either like, all right, it might be New York City or it's Helsinki, Finland.
100%. I swear to God, those
well, dude, back in the heyday of the 1600s, because I listened to a newisher Rogan podcast this past day, and they were talking about like civilization and time. So like perspective on time, this guy got me thinking about in the thought process of 1653. That's 400 something or 300 something years ago, but in the grand scheme of civilization time, that's not that long ago. But besides that, back in the heyday in the 1600s, dude, the Dutch, they were menaces. They were conquering a lot of things to be such a small country. But anyway, that's my thing. Good guess, bro. Great guess. I mean, in all honesty, 1600s, there's no other city that I probably would have guessed besides New York, except maybe Boston.
Yeah, no, I 100% started trying to think through what settlements in New England were founded. That's where Dutch primarily landed.
Right.
And I was really trying to work my head through that because that was the sensical answer. And Finland was just like this weird scratch I had over here that was like,
right.
Say Finland.
Helsinki. But what else do you have?
I got two things. One, this is sort of this week in history. Let me put the little bit of asterisk on that. The date is not very well kept. Some point, supposedly towards the end of January 93, Coca-Cola was trademarked.
In what year?
1893.
Oh, nice.
Now, this is several years after Cola had been sold and already was selling millions of dollars worth of product. They actually trademarked it.
Jeez.
1893. And so the date was a little shaky. From what I gathered, it was late January, so I'm going to take it.
Hey,
if you don't like it,
we'll take it. Put the Coke back in Coca-Cola, It's not an ad, but I've seen stupid people say that shit. There's t-shirts that say, dude, I got a t-shirt. We got a t-shirt, speaking of Coca-Cola, not Coke, but we got a t-shirt at my work conference that I went to when I was in Disney. It's just a black t-shirt and in big ass white letters, not even in the the little cursive writing like this is. Just in big ass block letters, all it says is Coke.
I've seen those.
And nothing else. And I'm like, that is the worst and greatest shirt to have all time, because either you're gonna get two people coming up to you talking about you. Hey, where'd you get that cool Coca-Cola shirt? And then also people are gonna try to buy drugs off of you.
If you wear it to a music festival, your options went down to one.
Yes. to two, but it's, are you selling it or do you need to buy it?
Do you have any more this week in histories?
Yes, I have two. Um, one is cool, one is sad. Well, they're both interesting,
Go with your cool first, because mine's semi-sad.
but mine's sad. I have a
Exactly.
sad
So
and a
what?
cool one. We'll do the
Yeah,
sad together. Okay,
exactly.
so today, actually, 4th of February, 2004, Zuckerberg launched Facebook in his Harvard dorm with the he might have stole it, from the Winklevoss twins, but we don't nobody knows except himself. But yeah, launched it, it was just a solely Harvard site right then, and then, like a year or so later, he turned it into just a college site, and then now it's what it is today, and it's a streaming platform, social media, it's a virtual reality meta universe. They own
Say
Instagram.
meta.
Yeah, it's Meta. They own Instagram now. They'll probably end up owning YouTube, Netflix, everything eventually.
Amazing about Facebook in general. So just how relatively recent this was. 2004 when he launches it. Just a site at his local college. I mean, don't get me wrong, Harvard, but like it's his local college where he's at. And then think about what like you had access to in 2004. Emails just really were becoming popular. It's very regular that people are using emails.
Yeah, because it
And
was the
then
start, late '90s, early 2000s was the big start of the whole internet boom. You know,
exactly.
do
And
you think
then
it
look
was
where we
still
are now.
dial-up internet in '04? I mean, I know we had dial-up internet for a long time in my house.
Oh, I don't think you had to have had it in '04. I don't know.
Like I'm saying, was there better internet than dial-up in '04?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. There was, AT&T or Time Warner
And
Cable at the time, now Spectrum. Yeah, no, it's came a long way, and I mean, it's not even 20 years old.
that's what I'm saying. So within 20 years, you have all the things it grown into. Even
Hmm.
think about you can send money on Facebook. I do it regularly. Like
Yeah, and you can sell shit.
2004, yeah, in 2004 when this started, the only way to wire people money was to go to an organization or a business that would wire
Yeah,
money.
or go to like a Western Union or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
And then like now you can, instant chat, keep up with literally anything, sell things with the
Hmm.
marketplace, send money,
It's insane.
stream video games. It's crazy.
Yeah, don't like it. Then my
Absolutely.
sad, then my sad thing. I don't know if I'm
Mhm.
taking your sad thing. On the
Better not.
first on the 1st of February in 2003, the space, huh?
So no, didn't take mine.
No, the spaceship Columbia was coming back into the Earth's atmosphere and disintegrated, killing all 7 astronauts that were aboard. I remember that. I was only in the 5th grade, but like I remember that being like a huge, because I mean, 2003 to when the Challenger thing happened in the late 80s, in all honesty, is not a long time to have two huge spaceship explosions,
Yeah.
malfunctions, whatever it was. The
Right.
Challenger blew up on the going up, and this clearly was on the way back, coming back into Earth's atmosphere. But still, that's. But yes, I for some reason I don't remember what happened or blah blah blah. But I remember seeing that on like the news and being very prominent.
I remember it being like a thing, like teachers talked about it and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Mine, I sadder-ish this week in history, um, is 75 years ago in 1948. Which, side note, that doesn't seem like that should be 75 years ago, right? But it is. The math
Well,
checks out. So,
which is crazy, right? We are 23 years into the 2000s. There's oh, I'll tell you in a second.
so
Continue.
75 years ago, Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated. Now, this is actually, I read into this a little bit more, and it surprised me because I'd never, I guess, really looked into how he died.
I didn't know he got assassinated until right now. I thought
So, not
homie
only,
died of old age.
Not only was he assassinated, he was assassinated by Hindu extremists, Muslims by Hindus. He was assassinated because they thought his political stance and like his peace, love, treat people with kindness type mantra and how important of a political figure he was going to prevent a war with the Muslims. So to instigate the war, Hindu extremists assassinated him. I was like, whoa, we, we don't really talk about this part. When I learned about Gandhi and like the brief little pieces, like the nuggets you get in history class,
I didn't know he got
that's pretty crazy.
assassinated. I'm sure I learned about it in high school or whatever,
I
but
don't think we talked about how he died when I was in school. Like I don't think
what year did
my
he get
class went
assassinated?
over it. 1948, 75 years ago. In
Damn, and he
fact,
was that fucking old? Well, I'm not saying he was old, but like I thought he was around earlier than that or like later in I thought he was around in like the 60s and 70s. Jeez. Wow. Going back to our time period thing, right? The 2003 and 2004 being, 19, 20 years ago. So, in 2004, Bowling for Soup came out with the song 1985, right?
great song.
Yeah, oh, fantastic. Technically it was a cover, but whatever. Um,
Shh, shh, shh.
well, Jarrett Reddick, I watched a post that he just posted, the lead singer, about that. He goes, yeah, it was a cover. We got permission. We were working with the same label as those guys, and that song already came out about a year ago overseas in like Europe, Japan, Asia, all that stuff. And they didn't want to, that band didn't want to post it in the United States. So they go, why don't you just record it and do it? So it's almost kind of like a dual came out from two
Release.
different bands at the same time. But
Weird.
if they wrote that song today, they would be singing about 2004. It's 19 years ago,
Oh,
which is insane to think about. That 1985 to 2004 was the song, that they were talking about all the olden days of the 80s and how great it was. Now, if we wanted to sing about the same time period that they were, we'd be singing about 2004.
good luck making a song about how good 2004
Dude,
was.
I've seen some things on TikTok where people are talking about like the Sims and the iPod and stuff, and I'm like nowhere near as cool as freaking some lady rocking out the cherry pie on top of a Mustang. Like you're not beating that.
Good luck.
Um,
Don't get me wrong. Things were better in '04 than '85, but like not cooler. Not things that you're gonna want to brag about in music form.
well, think of it this way: we grew up, we were kids then, right? 03, 04, that
I mean,
area.
I was.
So was I. I was not even in middle school yet.
I thought you meant you were teaching fifth grade.
No,
Grade.
no, no, no. I was in the fifth grade. Miss Fulton's class, shout out, greatest fifth grade teacher I ever had. Um, only repeated 3 times. But it's like we grew up like kind of like idolizing like oh the 80s were so cool. So like who doesn't say that kids are in like the fourth and fifth grade today are like their vintage stuff that they see in '04, they're like oh that's so cool.
Oh, I can kind of attest to that. I work with kids a lot, and I don't ever hear them talk about
Well,
how
I
cool
mean,
things were in their.
I agree because it's like, oh, cool, you had an iPod and a phone. I have both together. Like,
Yeah.
why would you think that that's cooler?
Talk to
Just
me more
idol,
after this TikTok's done.
yeah, just idolize the '80s. Damn it. But anyway, switching on from that, hot takes of the day, Richard Jude. What are they?
Okay, so hot take. We've already mentioned it. If you watch any type of sports news, you know it's coming. LeBron is about to pass Kareem's scoring record next few games. Right? As of tonight, I checked when they updated his stat sheet. He is 35 points off Kareem's all-time scoring record. My hot take is as impressive as that is, and how long it's taken for someone to be able to do it, is not the hardest, most impressive all-time stat leader stat. think it is way harder, possibly might never happen, for someone to catch John Stockton's assist record.
Are you talking about just in basketball? Because I have a very hard one in a different sport that will never be broken as well. I agree with you. I think it's way harder.
I will say it's tough to compare across sports. I would say in basketball specifically, but I really would put Stockton's assist record up against it would be at the same top tier as any record in any sport as far as how hard it is to break. Let me put this in perspective real quick before we
Okay.
go into the next sport because I agree there's some other crazy ones
Right.
like Gretzky and hockey and things like that.
Yes.
But Stockton has the assist record. The closest active player is Chris Paul, who is third all time on the assist leader ladder. You want to guess how many assists he is away?
No.
4,549 assists. So over
Jesus.
4,000 assists away from catching him. So Chris Paul's at like 1,100 and some. And then Jason Kidd, who kind of recently retired. I don't know what you want to, call a recent retire, but Jason Kidd hasn't been out of the league that long. Is second all time with like 12,000 assists.
Mm-hmm.
Stockton is above 1,500.
Okay.
15,000, my bad. Above 15,000 assists. And then to add a fun little tidbit in there, I just said LeBron passing Kareem's record won't be as impressive as someone passing John Stockton's if it ever happens. LeBron is also fourth on the all-time assist leader, which is just crazy to me that he can be so high on both ridiculously difficult all-time leaderboards. I mean, it is just a testament to how long he's played and how dominant he's been the entire time.
I
I'll take
agree.
is basically just that it's not as impressive if you pass the scoring record as if you could pass the assist record.
Right. And then not to take anything at all away from LeBron because he is the greatest basketball player that we've ever seen. Most athletic, arguably the most athletic human being on the planet. Um, but like, not to say somebody can't break wherever his mark ends, right? They will have to play for a long ass time. But there's also
I'll have to
there's
invent that 4 point shot.
I was about to say, what if they bring in a 4 point shot? That was literally what my thing is. It's like plus they also have the three now. So you shoot once, you're getting three instead of two. All kinds of things. But yes, I agree with Stockton's thing will never be called. Ever.
So
Um
far away.
I
Look at how long Chris Paul and LeBron have been in the league and how ridiculously far away they still are.
yeah, it's fucking stupid. Um, so a couple that I don't think will ever be broken. One, like you said, is um is Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky is absolutely crazy. I do not think that in golf, I don't think the most weeks at world number one will ever be broken ever. That's Tiger Woods holds that record, which is 683 weeks, which comes out to about 13.1 years. Rory McIlroy, Rory McIlroy right now to beat that would have to stay world number one until 2031, without missing a week.
That
Like that's impossible.
Corey, if you somehow catch wind of this podcast, I believe in you.
I don't. I really don't. Not saying that Rory is a bad golfer because he's phenomenal. He's one of my favorite players, but he gets pretty inconsistent sometimes to where there are a lot of guys that are 2, 3, 4 that play I would say more consistent than Rory does to where Rory could lose that number one spot even if it's for like 3 weeks 4 weeks he could still lose that number one spot for a couple weeks to like John Rahm who is playing out of his fucking mind right now. He's played in 6 tournaments this year and won like 4 of them already. So it's like that. Um, Two with baseball that will never be broken is one, Cal Ripken's consecutive games.
Yeah, Shohei's still just getting started, bro.
He still sits games. Cal Ripken
Sometimes
played 2,632 games without taking a break. Nobody's ever beating that ever.
4,600 games. How many seasons is that?
16 years, 16 seasons, 16 seasons of baseball. He played all 162 games. Yeah, you're not beating that. And
That's a
then
Iron Man award.
and then Ricky Henderson. There's a lot of unbeatable baseball records, but these two I think are the toughest. Is that one because fuck, that's hard. I mean, one, to have a baseball career that's 16 years is impressive as shit on its own. But
Yeah.
to not miss a game, even if like, I mean, even something, say you're, 13 years in, you do something crazy, you swing and it's an inside ball and you break your hand, you have to be out. Like homie played through injuries, all kinds of craziness. And I think Ricky Henderson's stolen base record will never be broken. He has 1,406 stolen bases.
Next closest.
I
Next
don't.
closest active. Do you know?
I'll look right now.
Jeez, man, bring the stats, bro.
So I will say though, you could average 70 stolen bases a year for 20 consecutive seasons and not break it. Yeah. So all
Light
time.
work. Only 70 stolen, bro. Come on, light work.
Yeah. Right. So. Oh God. No. Nowhere close. Um.
That's the answer, folks. It's just nowhere close.
Ricky Henderson. Nobody else in baseball has over 1,000 ever, and Ricky Henderson did 400 more. The closest is Jose Reyes, who is still technically active. He's not even active anymore. He had 517.
Okay, so yeah, nowhere close. Got it. Okay.
Nobody's beating 1,400 bases. What else? What other ones do you think?
I think the one I love how we brushed over it because don't know hockey at all.
Nope. Nope, not at all.
Then you should really just look up like top 10 most interesting facts about Wayne Gretzky because it's gonna blow your mind. It's just, like he. It's like he wasn't even playing the same game as the other people when you look at the stats and look at the records he holds. It's insane. So I feel like I just needed to touch on that because we kind of were like, yeah, Wayne Gretzky, but it's
Well,
incredible.
it's just like we know. Like if any sport has an undeniable, undisputed number one greatest of all
Best
time,
player
it
ever.
is Wayne Gretzky in hockey. You can't argue. I mean, sure, if you want to be naive, you can argue, but it's like, who do you compare to Wayne Gretzky?
I talked to a really good hockey fan, like a really or hockey fan one time, and he said it's just about who's number two, bro. No one even argues number one. If you watch hockey or like you follow hockey, anything, he's like, you don't argue who's number one. You talk about who's number two. That's how definitive the list is. It doesn't matter what your team allegiance was. It doesn't matter anything other than you can look at the book and it's just undeniable. Other than
Yeah.
that, I don't
So
know. I
like
mean,
most goals in a career, most assists, most Hart trophies, which is I don't even know what the Hart trophy is, but he
scary.
won all 9 of those in his first 9 years.
It didn't even matter. They gave
Yeah.
him to him.
Most assists in a season, most goals. He scored 92 goals in one season. most career points with 2,857. The active leader at number two has 1,653. So he's been playing forever. He's done. He's not getting that. Three consecutive 200-point seasons.
Yeah, I mean, he literally was playing a different game. Like, if there's ever been a good argument for someone that time traveled, go back and dominate a sport, I feel like it's Wayne Gretzky.
Might be Wayne Gretzky in hockey. He
Like,
comes from the year 2100, and he's like, I'm gonna go back to the 80s and 90s and just demolish everyone at hockey.
I'm just saying, man, it literally looks like he was playing a different game than everyone else. Um,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't know.
stupid.
I think we're gonna end up seeing a career made, assuming please forbid any injuries, any serious ones for Steph Curry. We're gonna see him set a 3-point made record that probably won't be touched for a really really long time.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't care what you think.
Just
I'm just
this
kidding.
is this is my this is my
Campaign
non
finance.
this is my non personal basketball opinion because I don't watch it nowhere near as much as you. But the amount of influence on young kids that Steph Curry has, somebody might just be like, I'm going to be better than that him, and just if you put in the work, you could do it. But he is going to set probably an unreachable mark.
It's dude, it's because this is the thing is he's having a huge influence on the game, growing the game, and revolutionizing how much the 3-pointer is utilized.
Exactly.
100%. No one can deny that. The really big catch there, most people on this entire planet are not as coordinated as him.
Not
so
at all.
so
But
it'll be really hard. And
yeah,
not only that, you have to be that good. And, hey, not trying to hate on the Warriors anything extra special here. You have to start playing for a dog water team that has nothing to lose to give you that green light from the time you're a young player. Because
I agree.
if he just showed up on LeBron's team, like they'd have been like, no, you can't shoot that.
Yeah,
Like
give
you can't just pull up in transition from
give the
eight
ball to
feet behind.
fucking LeBron. Like,
Yeah,
what
you
are
can't
you
be
like?
like,
What are you doing?
yeah, you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna run up in a fast break and be 8
Hmm.
feet behind the NBA three and just jack it. But they'd be like, no, if there's any other All Star on that team, they're not letting you take that shot. Steph Curry came in the perfect storm. He's low key. There was a lot of hype from him coming out of Davidson, but I still feel like it was a maybe because a lot of the NBA scouts, talk about how tiny he was. There was concern about his ankles, um, the height and
Yeah.
muscle size about how small he was. And so Warriors took a chance, really bad at the time, and now they've won a bunch of championships.
Four.
The most and have the most winningest season of all time.
I still don't think they beat the Bulls though.
They do.
Well, I mean, technically by the record, yes, but I think if you play that 72-10 Bulls team versus that Warriors team in like a 7-game series, I think the Bulls would win.
I don't know. I think it'd be really close.
Oh no, I think it would go 7 games.
I
But
think if they play the team that KD was on, and
well, he was on the 72-9. He wasn't on the 72-9 team. That's what I'm
73 and
saying. Huh?
73
Or
and 9.
73-9. It was 72 and
That
10.
was that was the big remark about KD. Like everyone kind of jabbing at him was like, you went to the team that just set the
You you
all-time
you
record.
went to technically the greatest team that's ever played basketball.
Yeah, as far as winning
as
goes.
as long as far as records go. But no, I think, I mean, what I really think would make the huge difference is the fact that the all defensive NBA team players that the Bulls had on their team with like Jordan and Pippen. I think it'd be really tough. I think it would be a great series to watch too. I'd love it.
Oh, it'd be fun. It'd be super exciting. I
Yeah.
think the biggest thing I guess the Bulls have working against them, just one of those always the time question. The Bulls would have never seen people that were so comfortable from shooting so far away.
No, I agree.
That
I
would blow
agree.
them away.
And it would
Like
be
they played against Reggie Miller, and it still would have been nothing like that.
and think of the mind games that like either young or old Steve Kerr has to play against the other one. You know? Like
Okay. All right, now Brandon's bringing like Back to the Future into this shit. Like
but he was on the team. He's on both teams. He's the coach of one and he was a player on the other. Like
he's like, look, guys, I remember during this season with the Bulls,
I
my
hit
shoulder. No, I'm just kidding.
I hit this shot, so please guard me this way instead. Like that would be a huge advantage because he would know the Bulls plays. I would say that. He would know their plays, but it wouldn't matter. Like anyway, cool. I love
Their
that hot
play.
take.
You mean their play? Give it to Michael Jordan.
Hey dude, first off, it was Dennis Rodman get the rebound then hand it to Michael, okay?
My,
Like
my bad.
yeah. It's okay. Scottie Pippen was better. Anyways, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. For everyone out there, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He was clearly the second best player on that team. Um,
I'm telling Steve Kerr you said so.
that's fine. We'll just all remember the time that Kerr was talking about Jordan, and Jordan was scared to shoot that championship shot, so he was like, "Just give it to Steve. I'll do it." This was such a funny story. I love it to death. Um, I don't really have any hot takes. I figured we'd talk about this one for a little bit. My only hot take is I think that ChatGPT will take over the world, even though it told me it wouldn't. Um,
Even though it told me it would.
um,
I
my
love the
I will say that my hot take of the day with that is it's not super hot. It might be like a lukewarm one. Is I think that how people are scared of AI being way too advanced, taking over the world, all of that crap. Look, if it happens, all of us are going to be dead way before then. I think it's oodles of time before that thought actually has to be a concern, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, different technology might make other people be able to take over the world, but before AI can send an Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator to my house and kill me, that's going to be way past any of us being alive.
There was ever better evidence of Brandon being a procrastinator. This right here saying that, well, if it gets advanced, it'll be way later. We don't have to worry about it right now.
We don't. Look, man, I talked to it. It's told me it did not have a gender. Um, it's really interesting. I will say for anyone out there that has not messed with or know what ChatGPT is, it's an AI system that just talks to you, gives you all the answers to like questions you have, and it scours the internet, news articles, newspapers, all that kind of stuff, and it's in real time. It's very interesting. Rick was on the phone with me when I was doing it. Highly recommend it because it is fun. Like we had it write some poems about stuff. We had it write like how to change a carburetor, and in like 30 seconds, it's giving me step by step things on how to change it.
However, will not write you a 20-page essay. It's beyond its
It
character
it
limit.
will not. It will not. It is beyond its character limit. Um, Something that I saw is there are programs put in schools, plagiarism programs that have already been able to detect that if this was written by ChatGPT or not. I saw that the other day, which is crazy. So
I wonder
I
if that program is just taking it, copying, pasting it to Chat GPT and saying, "Did you write this?"
maybe,
I
but
mean, what if it knew? What if it just could
so
answer you?
so I saw something very interesting that a guy did. He hooked up an automated like robotic hand to his computer, put a pin in it, typed into Chat GPT whatever need. Like, hey, can you write me, you know, 3 paragraphs about the Vietnam War or whatever. And then it said yes, and it transferred it to the robotic hand that had the pen and was writing it out in handwriting. And he's like, "This is how you get past plagiarism." And I'm like, "Fuck, dude." Very interesting. But
Sketch.
yeah, Hey, I was not prepared. Indochine kicked my ass. I thought I was gonna be back home at like 6:45. Here I come running in the door at
Really, you?
8:30. Yeah, here I come running in the door at 8:30. Rick, it is your turn. Hit us with the draft, my guy.
All right. So it's funny enough that the topic strayed a little bit earlier. Fun draft this week will be to draft 6-player hockey team made up of professional athletes from other sports. You can feel free to, put them in positions if you'd like.
I
To
don't know
you.
enough hockey positions besides goalie to even say anything. So I'm just
Hey,
picking six. I'm picking five players and a goalie. Is what I'm
yeah,
doing.
yeah.
Five skaters and a goalie. That's how I categorize them in. Okay. So I get to go first.
Yes, you do.
I have a list of a few.
Okay.
My team name is the Goon Squad because if anybody doesn't know what a goon is in hockey, it's
First of
just
all, go
people.
watch the movie.
It just yeah, one go watch the movie with Sean William Scott. We're just gonna go out there and we're gonna beat the shit out of people.
Well,
And
my team's gonna beat the shit out of you on the scoreboards.
that's fine. I don't care. We're going for entertainment. This is like the WWE of the hockey teams. We're going for pure entertainment here, baby. Um, so with my number one pick is definitely. I really hope that you did not have this. Actually, I hope you had this person, but I don't know if you thought about this guy. But
Okay.
look, hockey. Everybody has those stereotypical hockey types, huge ego dudes. So I'm drafting this guy as number one overall and my captain because I want to have a god complex on my team, and I'm drafting Zlatan Ibrahimovic as my captain for my hockey team. And plus, he's Swedish, so man, he probably has played before.
I hope he has never played. First of all. Second of all, I love the pick. I wouldn't call him a goon, but I do love the
No, no,
pick.
no, no, no. I need a captain,
Oh,
and
then the goon.
now, now I'm gooning hard, baby.
Okay. So we are gonna go goalie first. All right, we need someone that can really handle themselves. Someone that's gonna make sure we can seal the game here, but someone that isn't a hockey player. So where does your brain go for goalie? Major League catcher Real Muto for the Phillies.
That's nice. I went for a catcher too. So you're good. But
I feel like that's the only real like transferable skill. Like,
I think another great one that would be so I'll go ahead and pick my goalie now since you picked yours. Um,
I didn't want you to take him off the board.
I wasn't so I thought of this. You just said athletes. I did not know if we were doing current people that are athletes right now or past
Current.
people. Right.
Current.
So
You try and throw a pass person there, I'm vetoing them.
eh, it is what it is, right? Um, so when I think of goalie, I thought of two things. I thought of hand-eye coordination, and also, the speed of the hockey puck is outrageous. So you got to be able to just move your hands and hit that at all times, right? My goalie is a tennis player, and I'm taking Novak Djokovic or whatever the fuck his name is as my goalie. Quick hands, super hand-eye coordination. He's got a little tennis ball about the same size as a hockey puck, just kind of a little different. One's kind of round, one's more flat, whatever. Coming at you, maybe they hit it 110 miles an hour. I'm not sure. But I know a tennis ball goes that fast, so why not?
Yeah,
That's my
it's
goalie.
not bad. Not bad logic, and he's incredibly coordinated. So
Yes, yes, that's another thing I was going for. The man has hand-eye coordination, and I need that.
well, okay. Now it's funny enough because you haven't picked someone that I think of as a goon or a brute yet.
Okay.
I actually get to pick the first brute because Jason Kelsey, 1,000% on my hockey team, and he can check with the best of them. And I just feel like he's played hockey at some point in his life. He just 100% looks like it. He may never have. I don't know. I haven't asked him yet. I'm gonna DM him later.
Mm,
But Jason Kelsey is on my squad.
That's awesome. I'm also taking a football player
I was
that
really hoping you were about to say Kelsey.
that is gonna go up against. He's on my list, but I don't know if he's like high up there. This football player, I was gonna take him number one overall, but I wanted to draft my captain and my goalie out of respect of you drafting your goalie. This man played hockey until he was 16. He's nimble on his feet. Watched a video of him skating today, and he is one of the biggest people in the entire world, and I'm taking JJ Watt.
Oh.
Wisconsin boy that played hockey, baby. That is the leader of my goon squad.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Okay, now we're gonna branch out a little bit here. LeBron James.
Nice. Had him on my board. Had him on my board.
100% just one of the most freakishly athletic, coordinated individuals of all time. If he wanted to learn hockey, he learned hockey.
Right. I agree. 100%. He was literally the third name I wrote down behind Zlatan and JJ Watt. LeBron James was on that list. So that's fine. With hockey, I think a hand-eye coordination and I think a speed. You know, I have my goalie. I have my guy that's going to beat up everybody on the entire court. I have my captain, who is also going to beat up everybody on the entire court. So I'm going to go with a fast guy, super hand-eye coordination skills. I think he could be good. He might not be the best at the shot, but I'm going to try him. And I'm going to take Justin Jefferson as one of my front line guys. Speed, hand-eye.
Okay, funny enough. Okay, so I'm going to shoot right back at you position for position here.
I bet I know your pick. Who?
Steph Curry.
Nice. I like it.
Nimble,
so that's 1, 2,
athletic,
3, 4.
Incredibly coordinated, and he can swing a golf club really well. So I believe he can swing a hockey stick really well.
I like it. My next pick has all the exact same attributes that Justin Jefferson had. I want 2 speed demons on my front line going at everybody, and my fifth pick is going to be Cooper Kupp. Hand-eye coordination, fast, nimble, small.
I think he's as fast as Jefferson. I don't put them in the same category, even
No. Not on speed on the football field. I'm talking about. I think they'll go about the same speed on the hockey rink.
You better. Okay, we're gonna hope. Right?
Look. Okay. I looked at it as they're both really good wide receivers. They both have great feet movement, hand-eye coordination. I feel like that could transition over to hockey really well.
Very possible.
And then my last pick is going to just destroy you. In a literal term.
I hope you're ready for this. You think so? How about let me see if you recognize the name. Jack Elliott.
Who? Jake?
Oh. But fun fact, Jack Elliott also plays on a professional sports team in Philly. Jake Elliott. But Jack Elliott plays back for the Philadelphia Union and is 6'6".
Wow. That's
he's going to be holding down my defensive positioning since he literally plays defense at soccer and is huge.
All right. So my last pick has now changed. So I have a goalie. I have 2 front guys. A middle guy. Right? And 1 defensive guy that's my goon in JJ Watt. So if we're going with
goon he is.
If we are going for defensive, do not get by me or I will send you to the grave. I'm taking the 6'10", 309-pound Mark William Calloway. Better known as The Undertaker in WWE. I'm going to have a back line of The Undertaker, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and JJ Watt making up my back line.
Why is The Undertaker on your team? He retired from wrestling of all sports.
Okay.
You get arthritis Undertaker. You don't get prime Undertaker.
Prime Undertaker. Fine. I will change my pick.
Okay.
I will not use the Undertaker. I will take the 7'2".
The Big Show.
300. He's also retired. Oh man, my last pick.
Great Khali.
My 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 last pick. I need a beast of a defensive player. So I will take the man who statistically has the most red cards in soccer history. Still plays. Very prominent. One of the most decorated players ever, and I'm going to take Sergio Ramos as my second defensive back.
I love that we both went with defensive backs from soccer for hockey. Makes sense.
It does.
We both have a football bruiser in our defensive position in hockey.
Yeah. And Sergio Ramos is not afraid to murder people, and neither is Zlatan.
Oh, no, he's not. Zlatan won't see it as murder. He'll see it as
a
judgment. Okay, so for my last position, how I fielded mine: Steph up front, Braun in the middle as a distributor, body, can hold his own there. Jason Kelsey, Jack Elliott in the back with Real Muto holding it down at goalie. My other front man. I really thought about this in a way that they just are so coordinated and athletic. Their skills must be able to transfer in some degree, right? Ready, Brandon? Are you ready to see who's going to put up the most goals on you? Because I saved the best for last.
I think I know who you're going to pick. I'll let you know if you pick the person that I think.
Ohtani.
Who?
Ohtani. I think, one, he's kind of a tank. Have you seen the pictures? Like, his arms are about to bust out of his jersey, first of all. Baseball shirts are tight, don't get me wrong. But, dude's stout.
I agree. He's a big guy.
Very athletic. Can swing really hard.
I definitely didn't think that's the way you were going. If
he started slap shotting, he would start murdering some pucks.
So when you said ready to score the most goals, my mind definitely went to Lionel Messi.
Oh, nah.
I mean,
sorry, Messi, you're just small, bro. And it worked for you on the soccer pitch.
Yeah,
but
your 5'8" frame ain't working in fucking hockey. The shortest person on my team is Zlatan, and he's like 6'4".
I think the shortest person on your team is Justin Jefferson.
I lied because I forgot I picked him.
I was like, dude, I'm pretty sure Justin Jefferson's not that tall.
He is 6'1". I have no under 6'1" people.
Beautiful, beautiful. I have none under. I have none. I don't know how tall Jason Kelsey is actually.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic is 6'5".
I thought he was 6'5" or 6'6".
Jason Kelsey is 6'3".
Okay, and then what's Ohtani? Because that means Jason and Steph are both 6'3".
Ohtani is probably 6'3" as well.
I'm assuming somewhere 6'2", maybe.
5'9".
What? He looks.
I'm completely kidding.
Oh. I was like, dude, I'm blown away right now. Yeah, that's my squad. I think.
Shohei Ohtani's 6'4".
Ooh, yeah, I gotta. They're brutes.
Nice.
They're brutes.
Sad I couldn't take the 7-foot tall Undertaker in my draft.
I don't know if they have skates that'll support him, bro. Okay,
in this day and age they do, but he is old. He's an old man now.
I'm rocking with my 6. I think there should be a celebrity all-star hockey game, and I think these 6 should join a squad just based off this podcast, and they should just absolutely work everyone else.
I agree. Good. I like it. I like the draft. I did not like it 3 hours ago, but I liked it now. What
else do you have in sports?
Sports. The only thing that I have that I brought up has to do with soccer because I'm in love with it. And it's also kind of a hot take, but I wanted to wait because I wanted to talk about it at the same time. Is Man United won today? They're in third place, which is astronomically better than we were last year, whatever. But our best player that I would say is Casemiro, who we just got from Real Madrid last year. Been around forever. He's won 5 Champions League. Great defensive player. Got a red card today in the Premier League. So he can't play in his next 3 matches, and we play Leeds twice and then Brighton, I think, which Brighton's fine. Leeds just got disgustingly better because they signed the American Weston McKennie from Juventus this past week. Leeds is known as Leeds USA in America right now because they have an American coach and they have like 4 American starters on their team. And they're doing pretty good in the Premier League. And the Premier League is notoriously known for not wanting American players because they don't want us to be better than them in soccer.
And look what happened with Pulisic.
Yeah, he's the LeBron James of soccer at this point. But he never plays at Chelsea. What I want to say is Casemiro got a red card today for putting his hands on the throat of another player.
Okay.
Sad ass red card because the other player was already pushing him and like shoving. It was a shoving match. Casemiro pretty much grabbed him and was like, "Get the fuck off of me." You know.
He was just trying to Undertaker him, bro.
Yeah, he was just trying to do the slam, whatever. I think a red card in soccer should not be given in things that don't hinder the game, if that makes sense. So, like, if you're running to go shoot and you're wide open, and I slide tackle you from the back, take out your legs, I am stopping a play and can potentially injure you, right? That's clearly a red card. I totally get that. You stopped a goal scoring opportunity from being able to happen. That's not just a yellow, get out of the game. This was after there was like 8 players from each team right there, all pushing and shoving, all doing bad things that are red cardable offenses, but once he puts his hands around his neck, I get it. It's part of the rules now, but it's like it's not happening during the game. It's not like he grabbed his neck during the game to not let him run. It's kind of like a no blood, no foul type of thing right there that happened. Like if there's a scuffle on the side and I just come out and I just punch somebody, yes, red card me because that's wrong. But I was like, he's literally trying to stop this guy that has already been shoving him. He's already been shoving that guy. They're just getting into it. I don't think red cards should be given when the game is not in play unless punches are thrown. It's that simple.
I don't know, man. I hear what you're saying. I do think that what you're saying has a lot of like credibility as far as, especially if it hinders the game. Yes.
Yeah. That's a given.
I want to play that devil's advocate a little bit and say it's almost a part of like keeping the sport classy.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like because kind of like how the Heisman Trophy in football, college football, right? Is part of the description is that you have to be standing like person and good academic standing, blah blah blah. A lot of people just think of it as the MVP trophy of college football, which it kind of is, like personality criteria involved. Almost want to say, especially in the Premier League of all leagues, I really think part of that is to make sure that like things like that get penalized so it doesn't get to where it's devolving into too many fights or too much chaos or fists really being thrown where it gets beyond a gentleman's sport. So
to throw it out there, soccer at least in the UK is not a gentlemanly sport. They are mean to each other. No, what I'm saying is it's like there are fouls that like can potentially be yellow cards that the refs just like have a quick talking to. It's like, hey, don't. If you go back and watch the clip, what happens is like the ball goes out of bounds. Casemiro was running towards it from the sideline, very close to like the goal, but on like the side, and the guy comes up behind him and just pushes him. He slips because it always rains in the UK. He
Yeah.
slips and he slides into the wall and like hits his knees or whatever into the wall. Homie gets up, scuffle happens. If you give Casemiro a red card because I'm in the heat of the moment trying to finish in first place in the Premier League and it is a 1-1 game right now, and you just push me and could potentially injure me, I'm gonna come up and I'm gonna be mad because emotions are high. If you give Casemiro a red card in that situation, you also give it to the guy that started the whole incident in the first place.
That. I agree
So
that it's a double
so unless you give out 2 red cards, you give out
to
zero.
give out none. Yeah, 100%.
Is that
I do
simple?
agree with that.
So in that case, if it doesn't hinder the game, unless like super punches are thrown, maybe you just take away red cards from that spot because tensions are always high in the Premier League because it is the highest league of soccer that you can play. Everybody's fighting, for first place or they're fighting to not get relegated, stuff like that. So
Oh,
that's
I do
my
agree there.
hot
I'm a
take
big
slash sports slash Wrexham's coming to Raleigh in June. Everybody should buy tickets to watch them. It is not in a traditional soccer format tournament. It's a tournament put on by Clint Dempsey, who everybody knows. It's the TST, is the same people that did the TBT, the Totally Basketball Tournament. This is the Totally Soccer Tournament. It'll be 7-on-7, which is awesome. 7-on-7 soccer matches. It's a shorter field, more action, all that stuff. But you get to meet people from Wrexham. You get to meet people that were in the documentary. Go to it. I don't know what ticket prices are yet, but I signed up. So the second that I know, I'll let all y'all know because it's in Cary. So it's not far at all. And I'm going. I don't care how much tickets cost. I'm going to see a European soccer team play soccer. One that, is in a way lower league, but now because of this documentary and Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney buying them, I have religiously followed for the past year and a half.
They're on the uptick, bro. They just won
They
again.
just won 2-1 today. They're in first place in the National League. They play Sheffield United on the 7th in a tiebreaker game for the FA Cup, and if they win that, they play Tottenham Hotspur. Sheffield United's already the biggest team that they've played. Well, they've played Arsenal before, but there's already the biggest team that they've played like in a tournament, and to be a National League level team and to play a Premier League level team, and they'd play them at Wrexham. It's because shit shifts. Tottenham played at home last week, and now Wrexham has to play away, so they're going to let Wrexham play at home. If they got to play Tottenham, I'd cry. I'd love to see that shit. Let the Cinderella story grow.
Love it. Oh, I want to
Cool.
see it so bad.
What do you
Um,
have? Where?
so I want to go try and keep this a little short. I know we're kind of running long here. Well, things. First of all, college men's basketball, crazy upset day. I don't know if you got a chance to check the scoreboards. I know you said like you were busy waiting on your reservation or whatever. You're waiting on your seat. But I'm just gonna give you four quick highlights that were awesome to me. Anna, number 21, upsets number 1 Purdue, 79-74. Love to see it. I hate Purdue in basketball. A state fan. Purdue is an arch nemesis of ours on the basketball front. Oklahoma State upset number 15 TCU, 9-73. Oof. Rough go of it for TCU the last month or so.
Hey, at least they won the Big 12 championship in football,
Whatever, shut up. Virginia Tech.
Oh, wait. That didn't happen either.
Virginia Tech. Their in-state rivals, Virginia. To Virginia Tech. 6, Virginia, 74-68. Upset. Hokies take it. And then this one, not as big of an upset, but still a really big game here. Number 13, Iowa State. 8, Kansas, 68-53.
Nice.
So a little bit closer in rank, but Kansas is just always one of those. I mean, they're just one of those powerhouse schools. When they make it to the tournament, you never know. It's very doable for them.
And for all you... Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was about to say, and for all you lovely North Carolina slammers that we have out there, big in-state rivalry, Duke beat Carolina today at Duke.
Yep.
So,
When I was
always
preparing for this podcast, the game wasn't over yet. Otherwise, I
yeah.
was going to throw that in there.
It's all good to watch Duke or Carolina lose, and when they play each other, one of them's got to. So it's a great day because I don't like either of them. Even though
Our
I'm
buddy
supposed to
Gabe
be a
is
Duke fan because of my wife, she tells me every day that she goes, "It's the one sports team I ask you to cheer for," and I just can't do it.
it's just gross, first of all. Second of all, our buddy Gabe is clapping really hard somewhere down in Tampa.
He is.
But
Fucking hate both those teams.
yeah, I don't hate Carolina as much as I hate Duke. I'll say that. But it's not that I really cheer for either of those teams.
I look at
though, because that could be a whole podcast.
yeah. We'll talk about Carolina Duke tomorrow.
WNBA super teams. Have you seen what just happened with the Aces and the Liberty?
Yes,
Good.
but walk it through it.
Yeah, so, for those of you that don't follow the WNBA as closely, and I'm not saying I follow it close, but I try to keep up with it, they both have just made additions to their team. The Liberty just added 2 people, Jonquel Jones, and the other lady's name is a little harder for me to remember right now, but she was one of the assist leaders, top 5 in assists last year in the WNBA. She also joins Sabrina Ionescu, who's also top 5 in assists leaders last season. And then the Aces added some talent around Kelsey Plum, and it really looks like right now those are the 2 teams to beat in the Western, the Aces, the Eastern, the Liberty. I want to see how it plays out. We won't really know till September when their playoffs start. I can't wait to see if that experiment works out for them. Because obviously we've already seen it play out in the NBA. It works. It can work.
Yes.
It can also fail.
Yeah.
We've seen it fail.
We see what's happening to the Nets.
Don't worry, that's my next talking point. But I mean, I'm talking Miami Heat. LeBron didn't win every year that he was in Miami.
My good old Dallas Mavs beat them.
There we go. The Mavs did. Dirk put the whole freaking Western Conference on his back.
Doesn't matter, dude. That run was insane. It beat the Lakers, the Spurs, and then the Heat super team.
No, they are Dirk. I'm not joking. Put the entire NBA on his back instead of
the girl's last name that you're talking about for the Liberty besides Brianna Stewart is Vandersloot. Sloot. So I'm assuming Vandersloot.
Yes.
So maybe Slout, but I think it's Sloot.
Yeah, I swear that's what I thought it was, but I was like, I'm not confident enough to say.
No, you're good.
And we've seen super teams work and not work. A perfect season where 2 super teams, if you want to call them that, kind of formed, and I want to see this play out. I'm very excited because I think that's what brought another level of hype to the NBA. Is it made people watch games that they weren't even rooting for? They almost were rooting against.
Right.
See if the WNBA can also draw up some hype around these new super teams. My last talking point is Kyrie asking for a trade.
Trade him.
100% trade him.
Trade him.
But this is what's wonderful. Is where could he go?
Charlotte.
There's a lot of talk right now. I think they're going to try and deal him to the Lakers.
That means the Russell Westbrook KD duo is going to be back together because they will have to put Russell Westbrook in that trade.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was them, I would put Pat Beverly and Russell Westbrook in that trade.
To watch Kyrie and LeBron play again?
Oh, my God. With AD, when AD's healthy, which he did come back.
So he'll be hurt in a week and a half.
Oh, I lied. I would not put Russ and Pat Bev in the trade. Schroeder and Russ in the trade. Keep that Pat Bev, LeBron, AD. We're going. We're making a run. We're putting all in on the table to make a run because you don't know how many more years you have AD or LeBron. You don't know about his health. LeBron, it's just a time game here. I go all in and just say, look, Kyrie, you're an extremely questionable teammate, but the one teammate you've had that's ever kept you in check is LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
So
that's genuine because look what happened when he was at the Celtics. Look what happened when he
so
was here.
breaking news that just happened on ESPN
Mhm.
about 20 minutes ago. Just another team added in their name to the mix of trade places for Kyrie. So the top three were the Lakers, the Mavs, and the Suns. That's what Waj is reporting. So I'm going to believe everything he says.
I bet you the Suns are surface level at best, but yeah,
Yes,
let's go.
the Clippers just joined in to be adding to the Kyrie trade.
Good old Steve. I oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't think he'll go there, but I'm kind
I
of
don't know
glad that
either, but Steve Ballmer will do anything he can to wreak havoc in the NBA, and I absolutely love anything that he
yes,
tries to do.
1,000%. I genuinely respect and love and appreciate his enthusiasm as an owner. Actually, just cares about basketball. Dude doesn't need money. Dude doesn't care about money.
Yeah,
Like that's
he
not.
only helped co-create Microsoft. Like,
Yeah,
like,
does
what money
not.
do you need?
It's not a concern for him. He bought the Clippers because he cares about basketball, and I
I
love
agree.
that. I
I love it
appreciate that.
too. But
So I really hope Kyrie goes to Dallas. Or Dallas, I lied. Lakers. I meant Dallas is in my brain. I don't know how he would
I
work at
would.
Dallas. I just don't. What I can see as another realistic landing spot for him is Chicago. Chicago trying to figure out what they're doing with DeMar, Zach, Lonzo's still not healthy, Alex Caruso. How do we fit all this in? Kobe White, them trying to offload some of their
Right.
contracts and shipping Kyrie to Chicago because here's the other thing. Get one of those stars and one of those role players because that's what Chicago needs to get out from under those contracts.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really worried about Chicago in the East?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. So you're not going to trade him to an Eastern contender,
Right. You
but
have to trade him to somebody to the West, or you trade him to somebody that you
dog shit.
know, like Chicago or like Charlotte, that
Like Orlando.
yeah, that you know aren't going to throw anything. The only way, and I will say, even though the Mavs are in the talks as one of the teams for Kyrie, the only way he goes there is if it's for just this year, and Cuban is like, this is what he thinks is the highest potential year that he can win a championship if he thinks that Kyrie can bring it over, which I don't think he does think that. I think he knows that it's going to take probably another 2 to 3 years before Dallas could be consistently, a top three Western Conference team. But
I think they're one piece away, dude. I
that's what
think they
I'm
are
that's what I'm
one piece away.
saying. But I
I
don't think
don't
I don't think
think that
Kyrie
piece
is
is
the
Kyrie.
answer. I don't think he is the answer to that one piece. Because if we could
100%.
just get Luca more off the ball and have somebody else there that can control it,
No, because that's what
maybe.
I think. That's what I think the speculation on Kyrie is. What I would actually argue is that you need really good, like stretch forward.
Right.
Like
So like we just put like KD or something.
if Porzingis, actually who I think would be fantastic if somehow you could pull this off. Paul George. They could deal it, get Paul George to Dallas. You guys make a run to the finals.
Just do a triple trade with Brooklyn, the Clippers, and
We just
the
spoke it into existence.
Mavs.
That's how Kyrie's going to end up at the Clippers.
Dude, if Kyrie ends up to the Clippers, somehow we both send draft picks or like role players to Brooklyn because they already have KD, right? You don't want another huge ego person to come back. I don't think KD and Paul George on the same team could do that well.
I think they're fine because Paul George really isn't that big of an ego. He's a
True.
really good teammate and stuff. But no, I agree with you in a sense that the big thing is Paul George is not getting younger. The Nets, I would just be trying. I wouldn't be trying to absorb any large
Yeah.
contracts.
We
Be
have,
looking for draft picks. I'd
hmm
be looking for draft picks.
So we just both send draft picks, send, one to the Clippers that like the same round that they lose that they have to give up to Kyrie. We send one to Brooklyn as well, and we kind of do maybe a three-player role player trade. But then the big one is Kyrie goes there. Paul George comes down there. We have Luca, Paul George on the same team. We are definitely in the fight to win the Western Conference at that point.
I think you guys would have to like mortgage the house to do so. I think you'd
Easily.
have to give up draft picks, give up a role player here or there, who you guys have that you could probably give up. I think that'd be really fun to watch. It really would be. But who knows? Who knows till it really
We
happens?
know. We heard it here first. If that trade somehow happens, I'm gonna make a
Call it.
TikTok about this right here, and we're gonna go viral because I'm gonna have the date stamp
We're
for
putting a
it.
timestamp on it.
Yeah, well, I have the timestamp. It'll be absolutely amazing. But
That was
okay,
my last thing, man. You got
cool.
anything else?
I do not. I do not. Pray Tottenham beats Man City tomorrow. There's my last thing. That needs to happen so we can end up finishing in first place somehow. Anyway, that is all I have. Everyone out there, thank you for coming in. Thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, please follow us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, however you're listening. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to hear in the podcast, you can email us at slamsfistfact@gmail.com, or you can shoot us a DM to at slamsfistfact on Instagram or TikTok. It's the same handle for both. But other than that, Rick, it's been a pleasure. We'll do it next week.
Sir.